the reason that I reached out to Mabel was because I've been following her on Instagram, and I really liked the posts. They made me laugh, and also they made me kind of hit a bit of a raw laugh. Like every time there'd be something about, do you know what you want to do or something, I'd always like shake my head. So basically that's, I think, what prompted me to get in touch, through sort of desperation, but also like I just knew that it would be taking like a some kind of positive action towards changing my situation. And I think I messaged a bit in advance because I knew I'd be like on holiday or going back to the UK or something, so it was nice. We got in touch, and then Mabel said she'd reach back out, and then we just set up some meetings, and it's really just carried on since then. So I think the first few months was every week, and that was great because I was so really needed them. And then it became once a month, and it's like a year and a half on, and it's still once a month, and that's just been, it's like a really good constant check-in, because actually even though I've now kind of moved to a career that I really like, that it's probably worth stressing that the challenges don't stop, and in fact they kind of get more, because you're constantly wondering like, where do I go from here, or like it's just, I just find that these check-ins are a really great way to discuss what's going on in your career and like get back on the track to what feels really good.
Yeah, and I love that. I feel like you've identified something really cool, because it doesn't end, does it? It's not like a fix and then you're like, okay, done, no, don't have to do anything challenging anymore. You're like, oh, now I'm doing this career that like I'm really passionate about. There's challenges all the time because it's hard doing what you love.
It is also funny because I just said this, but I didn't expect that. So if this helps anyone else to realize that, oh yeah, this could be a really helpful like process, even if I am in a career I love, like it's still, that's not like the end goal.
Yeah. So kind of, I would love you to walk me through the process to where you are now, because you are, I mean, I think it's amazing, like the past year and a half, and really when the first 6 months from like April to like September, October, whatever, of last year were like the most incredible 180 for you. And it was really amazing to watch you go from where you were in Berlin to doing exactly the thing that we had like in discovery sessions gone, oh, that's really what I want to do, but like, how do you even do that? People don't get hired for that anymore. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, she's doing it. So could you kind of walk me through that process a little bit?
Really, yeah, of course. So basically when I started the sessions with Mabel, I was living in Berlin doing a job that I wasn't particularly passionate about, and now I'm living in Iraq working as a journalist, which is like quite an amazing to reflect on, even though I'm often beating myself up with self-doubt about how I'm not really a proper journalist. But when you sit back and you look at that, it's really nice to see the progress, and really I really genuinely mean this. I don't think it would have happened without Mabel, because she made me feel like I could take these little steps that all linked up. So it was a really, really important part of this journey, as well as a lot of random luck and things that happened. But I was braver to take these decisions because I knew that this is what I wanted. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And and also, yeah, just to be more specific, so when I was in Berlin, I started then realizing I wanted to travel more, do more writing, and then an opportunity came up to travel to Iraqi Kurdistan for a month, so I decided to take that. And by the way, this is probably the hardest decision I ever took, because and Mabel again helped me a lot with the decision making, like, do I go, do I not, because it meant leaving my job that I wasn't happy about, but not having a future step, because this was only a 1 month visit. So really on paper, it was kind of seemed a bit stupid, but I just really knew that I wanted to go. And so anyway, it worked out amazingly, because while I was there, I got in touch with an editor of a local like online like, news outlet, who said they were looking for English editors. So then I ended up getting a job through that kind of quite theoretically reckless decision. And then I moved back to Iraq for, well, I'm still here, but I was at this outlet for 8 months. And that also wasn't without its challenges. I found it very hard. At lots of points I thought, what the heck am I doing? But having Mabel here to talk to every month, to update her on how, not just like how the work was going, but how mentally I was coping, and having her remind me that this is just kind of an experience, like it sort of brought me back to the original reason I decided to go, which was to explore and to grow my skills, and just to like, it just was very good because it snapped me out of feeling every so often that I was trapped, because I kept being able to remind myself that I wasn't. And so, and she was also very helpful in helping me kind of come to the conclusion quite gently that maybe I should just leave and give freelancing a go. And if it doesn't work, I go home. And so far it's only been 2 months, and I've picked up a load of part-time work that enables me to stay here and have the space to kind of try and pitch more pieces. So that's the situation that I'm in now, which I'm really proud of, but just goes to show that it's really still a work in progress. Even though it may look like I've reached the goal, it really doesn't feel like that at all. So that's how Mabel has helped me through this process, and still is.
Yes, thank you. And I love the acknowledgement of just it's about figuring stuff out all the time. Like, what kind of journalist do you want to be? You want to be a journalist you feel like now who isn't like breaking news, who is more longer stories, and it's very, and also the power of going something that you're drawn to, like the trip. Go, well, I'm just drawn to it, so I'm going to go. I have no idea why, but I'm just going to do it. And then the power of meeting people, you know, and like that job would never have been online, I don't think. It was from you finding it and talking to people who you were interested in and following what you were interested in.
That's really, really good point. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that, but just the whole process of like figuring out myself a bit more, and following like paths and instincts had, like you say, has shown how being more curious and thinking about things in a different way is actually incredibly not just helpful, but genuinely like kind of life-changing, because everything that's happened to me in the past year has been through, like you say, talking to people, meeting people, sending emails. Like a big part of what I was sort of working on with Mabel earlier this year, before I left my job at my full-time job, was emailing people, reaching out to people, saying hi. And now I it's only been a month, but lots of these people I've actually met, and now they talk to me, and like it's, you know, I'm still very like junior, but it shows that you can really actively build more of the life that you want. It is actually possible, which is crazy in a way, and kind of just Mabel's advice. I would recommend Mabel to anyone who is a little bit curious about what more there is out there for them, not even just in terms of a career, but in terms of getting to know themselves more, what makes them happy, how they can really like use their skills and their interests and their curiosity to create a life that they really love, and that also supports them financially or whatever. And I think a lot of people I know feel quite stuck in a rut in their sort of careers, and so I would really recommend that they reach out to Mabel, not just to change their career, but to work out what they actually want, because I think that for me was the biggest thing that helped, because then you can kind of work towards something. And so, well, and then also I would recommend Mabel to help them work towards something as well, because that's been really helpful. So yeah, I think I would recommend Mabel to anyone who feels like they just are a bit stuck, because she will help very positively shake you out of that, and help you kind of realize that you have more agency than you think. And I think that's really been the most powerful thing. Yeah, so, and also I'd recommend Mabel to anyone who feels, even if they're in the career that they love, I'd still kind of actually recommend Mabel to them to help them grow even more. You know, it's not just about the job. Although if you don't have a job you love, then message Mabel as well, obviously.
Yeah,
I hope that makes
yeah, I love that. It's like the journey continues. And it's, yeah, I love it. And then we have one final question, which is what did you most enjoy about working together? I feel like there's lots of different parts. So what for you personally was most useful or enjoyable?
Well, I think the thing I most enjoyed, okay, there's two parts. Maybe this is slightly separate, but the thing that was most helpful, which I did really enjoy, was being able to message Mabel when I have crises. And I'm particularly thinking about when I was like, do I go to Iraq? Do I not? Da, da, da. I didn't enjoy that process, but it was incredibly, her advice was so important. And so in hindsight, I enjoyed that. But more sort of obviously to the question, I really enjoy, I suppose this is more like regular enjoyment. I really enjoy how much she genuinely cares and remembers about like what her clients are going through, and it gives me a really positive sense of like someone really cares and is rooting for you, and that just comes across all the time through checking in with you or just being aware of what you're working on, and just her like support. And I'm trying to think of another specific example. I also just enjoy how what's the word, positive and motivational she is. Like it really helps shift a grumpy mood. So yeah,
I love it. Thank you.